Hello, this is Sharaba V Tarot Channel. I'm your host, Sergio Pickles. Before I begin, I want to shout out Lilo Vanity, a constant beacon of feminine strength. My readings are based on your Vedic Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let us begin. I am a servant of the great work, not its master. If you find my readings helpful, there are links in the description box, or you may donate to nobabyblisters.com. If you need further assistance, check the description box. Today, we will be reading for the earth signs, Aquarius, Virgo, and Taurus, and finishing with the water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. I also have a quick recap on where we left off throughout the month, the latter parts of December. Aquarius, you had the Ace of Cups, the Empress, and the Two of Cups. So you were probably very, very high. The Ace of Cups is the cups of abundance. You probably found yourself with plentiful resources, very good camaraderie. You were basically having a lot of emotional elation throughout the latter parts of December. The second card is the Empress, which means you might have had some new beginnings, might have had a good little bit of worldly behavior, and the Two of Cups, which means that you were emotionally balanced where you are and basically growing from your past self, meaning that you were making good decisions compared to who you were, and you found joy in the present. That was the last reading I had for Aquarius. So let's see what's going on with you today, my Aquarius. The water bearer. So the Nine of Cups. So it looks like you've been expressing a large amount of gratitude as well as having a lot of optimism. So there's renewed trust in the divine. It seems like spirit has brought you through and you're finding tranquility after difficulties. Your needs are met. You're doing what you can in the work world. You can see that they're above the person or the depiction. There are 5 cups above, which means that you all have been paying attention to the Hierophant, and the 4 cups below. That means your family, your friends, your interest, whatever you're doing, it's at a good place. The 9 of Cups is very close optimism. It's about renewed trust. You understand that there are forces, things, could be your ancestors looking after you. And the Magician card. So from the 9 of Cups to the Magician card, Aquarius, you're about to enter a period of beginning to manifest. So the Magician feels like he could pull a rabbit out of the hat, but the Magician card is a little bit more grounded than the Fool card. Both of them signify new beginnings, but with the Fool card, it's blind optimism. You're not really taking a realistic view of the resources at your disposal to actually get to where you're going. But with the Magician card, you look at the situation around the situation that you want to create. So the Magician says, I have this, I have that, and then I have this. So it looks at the different elements. It could be, you could have a large amount of wands, you could have a large amount of communication. You also might have the pentacles to get to where you're going. And with this Magician card, it's basically a card of beginning. There's going to be something that you're manifesting at the beginning. You're at the top of a manifestation, but you also have to go through you have to go through a couple cycles to get to where you're going. So there's probably going to be something coming to fruition for you all in March or April when it comes to Aquarius. And I say this because right now the idea usually does feel good when you're at the ideal portion of planning. You're planning out of optimism, and in reality, it's not going to be that simple. Whatever you're trying to manifest, Aquarius, it is quite possible. It feels good to think about. It feels good to think of that end goal, but I challenge you to also look at that end goal and then start planning more detailed steps to get to where you are. But you can get there. And lastly, the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is it's basically a card of groundedness. Make sure that you are using the resources around you, paying attention to who's paying attention to you. And also there's a difference between the High Priestess and the Empress. The Empress is not to be questioned. The High Priestess is to be basically, with the High Priestess, you can negotiate with the High Priestess. So if there's something that you want to reach, the High Priestess can be talked to and negotiated with. But there's also the thing about the High Priestess is you see how she's kind of got a scowl on the face. It's kind of a what about me? So remember, Aquarius, that any equation that you put yourself in or anything that you want, you're naturally going to affect people around you. So be sure that you are taking into account how other people feel about the situation as well, and other people's emotional well-being. Next, we are going to read for Gemini. So let's find out what's going on with our Gemini. So Gemini, last time we talked, we had the Seven of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. So my Geminis, you all were at the end of December, you all were asking for a change. You all were overthinking. There was something that you were going around and around in your head with. And you already had, and after the seven of swords, you had the Four of Wands, meaning that you were already walking towards whatever you're trying to manifest. And lastly, you had the Queen of Wands, which is basically above you. It is the recognition that we as beings are not the final say so in what happens in the real world. But with that Seven of Swords, you kept asking yourself, what more could you do? What more could you do? And you got the Seven of Swords because you were basically overthinking about a manifestation that was already coming towards you. The Four of Wands meant that, and you were probably thinking of a situation, giving a situation more thought than it deserves. And with the Four of Wands, you wanted to change something, or there was something that you were asking Spirit for. And with that Four of Wands, it was going to include a part of how you wanted to feel, but it wasn't going to be quite how you envisioned it, which brings me to a saying that oftentimes God looks at our plans and laughs. That's just the nature of the beast. And with that Queen of Wands, it was a sign that, I don't know, it might have been your grandmother, it might have been a relative around you, Queen of Wands. There was somebody who knows your worth and knows what you're capable of. And that Queen of Wands meant that they were looking out for you. And even though you were trying to rush and resolve a situation with this Seven of Swords overthinking, the Queen of Wands was just confirmation that, hey, it is handled, and whatever is handled is already in your best interest. So it's best to not think about it any further, Gemini. So let's see what's going on at the top of the month. King of Pentacles. So Gemini, this is the King of Pentacles card. So it's a card of foundation, reliability, confidence. The value of success is gained through principled intellect. We oftentimes feel exhaustion from taking the high road. This is a sign that spirit supports how you've been making decisions. Comparison is the thief of joy. Appreciate your situation for what it is and find a reason to be thankful. So your higher self is, I think this is just a card of gratitude. So last week, Gemini, you had the moon, you just recalled to meditate a little bit more, Gemini, and you have kind of been revealed to the King of Pentacles. You've been showing yourself as reliable and confident, but it seems like you've been having a lot of wants. And Spirit is saying, well, before we give you any more, we really need you to appreciate where you are now and appreciate where you've come from. The King of Pentacles understands that there might be a material possession you want. There might be something that you want on this plane, but it's basically trying to tell you your lower self is always going to have wants. There are always going to be things that you will want, but your higher self is saying, well, as long as you have what you need, you're okay. And of course, we as people always want more. There are just limitations around how much we can have at one time. That's why it's a trickle down effect. Once you begin to look after yourself spiritually, that's when things start to change in your environment. But the King of Pentacles is saying, hey, you have a lot to be thankful for. Your money might not be where you want to be, but you can feel the love and support of the people around you, or your money might be where it appears to be and you're just not feeling the love from people around you. There's a lot of different ways you can view, but there is just the King of Pentacles just wants you to look around and be grateful, if not for anything but the environment that you're in. That's the energy I'm getting right now, Gemini. And you have to remember, comparison is the thief of joy. Do not look at what someone else has or is doing and say, well, I want to be more like them, because it's kind of every person must walk their own path, be it male or female. Don't compare your relationship. Don't compare your romance. Don't compare what you're doing. Don't compare yourself to anyone, because that is the thief of joy. The King of Pentacles is saying the aspirations right now may be stemming from what you've seen other people have. But if you just take a moment to be grateful for what you have, you'll find out that you're actually in a better situation emotionally, Gemini, than you think you are. So here's the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is our inner world suggestion, exploration of our interior landscape. So this is an exciting card, Gemini. So it looks like there's a proposition. This is energy of a proposition or an invitation. So with my Gemini, there are a lot of fantasies that live within you that want to be explored. And your inner world suggests the exploration of your interior landscape. So I would challenge yourself. This is kind of like Hierophant energy, but it's a little more advanced. Basically what Spirit wants you to do is really think of, if you had to have an ideal situation, or push it as far as it can go, like remove all the restraints of rationality and picture yourself in a world. It could be a room, it could be an environment, it could be a vacation. You can picture yourself on the beach, you can picture yourself in a mountain, but begin to think of where you want to be and really hold on to that image and begin to explore that inner world. Because what you'll find out is, as you begin to see those details of where you want to be, you're actually going to begin to learn a little bit more about yourself and how you feel about yourself. And if you can take it as far as including people, and where you want to go, but this is really just take a moment and breathe and begin to idealize what you want out of this new year, Gemini. Three of Cups. So you have the Knight of Cups and the Three of Cups. So there's momentum. There's celebration. There's a time of sharing spiritual growth. If you take time to really think about your ideal situation, you'll begin to see that they're going to show you where your emotional fulfillment is. And with this Three of Cup card, you're in a position to manifest a lot of things this year, Gemini. And with this Knight of Cups, once you begin to see how that inner world looks, see what you're doing in that inner world, and really just take part in your own fantasies, you're going to start. That's the beginning of momentum to really shape how your reality looks this coming year. And with this momentum, it is a celebration and time of sharing your spiritual growth. So you're going to go through a lot of spiritual growth this year, which is going to bring some discomfort, Gemini. But as long as you hold on to this image, that's why it's very, very imperative right now for you, Gemini, to really look on that interior world and begin to plan out where you want to be. Because as you're going through those hard times, where you want to be is actually going to be your anchor, or what's going to hold you to yourself as times begin to get hard. But you will be triumphant according to this Three of Cups. All right, and we're going to wrap things up with Moon and Libra. Let's see how the Libra feels. Last time, Libra, you ended off with the Queen of Wands as well. So it was about acceptance of some things being out of your control. And with the constant back and forth that Libras go through, having the comfort in knowing that you are cared for and knowing that you are supported means a lot if you have Libra placements. And with the Queen of Wands is showing that she can and will support you. So let's see what the first part of the new year is going to look like for the Libra. I also wanted, halfway through the reading, I wanted to just take a moment. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me. And for that, I appreciate it. Now, Libra, what's going on? Eight of Pentacles. So you are at the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of planning, organizing, and implementing. You need to be diligent and focused in both your work and your lives. It is often hard to come to a realization that we can do better. You may be over excelling at one part of your world and really dropping the ball. So, for example, you could be doing very well with family, but you have to make sure that you are giving equal effort in the tougher parts of your day. So there are parts of your routine that are going well, and that's why you're holding that pentacle. And there are aspirations and dreams and things that you go for, but there are also these two pentacles on the ground. And they're not saying you're dropping the ball, but make sure you're also taking into account the emotional being of the people around you as well. Because the thing about life is, to get these aspirations, these wants, we have to remember what we're good at, like emphasize your strengths, but also make sure that we are either emotionally available, make sure that we are giving properly of ourselves. That could be giving of our time or giving of resources to things that we aren't fond of thinking about. So while you're holding on to this pinnacle, which could be a position, it could be a job, it could be a one-on-one, and also you got your eyes on your manifestation. So with your eyes on your manifestation, let's make sure that we are mostly supporting those people that have supported us very well. So even if it's just a calling and checking in on family members, it might not make you feel different emotionally, but those calls and checking calls could mean a lot to somebody. And these somebodies have been supporting you to the point where if you want to get somewhere, Libra, then you need to put a little bit more time into these people who care about you. And these aren't people that have you met recently. There are people who have been in your corner, been rooting for you over time that you need to pay attention to. The star card. So the star card, it is a card of looking out. So when I think of the star card, it is a force that is looking after you, and you see how this card is kind of sitting, and it's a trickle down. This is what's above you. So you are definitely been communicating in the universe. You're at a point of high balance. This is a card of just unconditional. So no matter what you're going through, no matter what you are doing, remember that you are the star. Like, you are the star of your life. Like, Libra, I understand we just bounce from thinking what can we do from others to what can we do with ourselves. And this star card means that you are doing a good job of taking into account that spirit and ancestors need to be involved. Like, there are people the unseen forces in your life need to be taken into account for. Your past self, there's a lot of things you need to consider when you are making decisions and when you are getting up to do your day-to-day. So there needs to be a gratitude that for the things that you have gone to. There needs to be appreciation for the things that you haven't even experienced yet. And that's hard to do in the present, but the star card means that you have been trying to better yourself and things are starting to turn around for you. So the Wheel of Fortune. So with the Wheel of Fortune, this is fire manifestation energy. There's something that Spirit has designated for you, and the Wheel of Fortune just needs time to turn. So the Wheel of Fortune kind of denotes each element. So there's the earth, so foundation, stability, material possession. There are swords, communication with whoever needs to be communicated with. And there are cups. So that's emotional balance, emotional instability. And you're getting the Wheel of Fortune card because however you feel, whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been trying to manifest, the fire, earth, water, and air are balanced within ourselves. And you've been communicating well with the people around you. This is meaning that whatever life path or whatever you're going towards in the long run, whether you can see it or not, you're on track to meet it. So I know there's a lot of second guessing that goes on with Libras, but this Wheel of Fortune confirmation is that whatever you are sailing towards, whatever you are piloting towards, you are going to reach that goal. January is going to be a big year for you. It's going to be a very monumental year for you, Libra. Make sure that you aren't placing worry where worry does not need to be. Next, we will be moving towards our water signs. So next, I'm going to read for Pisces, Cancer, and then finish the reading with Scorpio. The Sun card. So first off, with our Pisces, you have the Sun card. So this is about expression. It seems like there are things that have been sitting on you emotionally, and the Sun card is calling you to be expressive. While we all have, we have our sun signs, which we all know like the back of our hand, but there's also the moon sign, which shows where we are emotionally, and the ascendant is what we should be aspiring to encompass. So although a lot of people, when you ask, say, what's your sign, you say your sun sign, but your sun sign is actually just how people view you. And that might not be necessarily how you feel. And it can be a bit of a challenge. But the sun card here is remembering that you don't have to live up to anyone's expectations. A lot of people are seeing your sun sign, Pisces, and you might not be feeling that way. So make sure that you are emotionally satisfied. And the sun sign, it's hot, it's shining bright, but don't let others' expectations of you get in the way of wanting for yourself, Pisces. Remember that you deserve emotional satisfaction instead of just satisfying the image that people want you to live up to. The Ace of Cups. So with the Ace of Cups, love, abundance, and new beginnings. There's fertility, there's joy, and you are spiritually sustained. So this is a card of abundance. There could be abundance heading towards you, either emotionally, financially. It is a card of emotional elation. And with the Sun card, that's basically a major arcana card. So Spirit is calling you to be emotionally fulfilled. It's just be a little bit self-critical of how people view you. Don't question if you are living up to people's standards for you, because you are naturally, Pisces. I know with the Pisces, there's the image of the two koi fish swimming in a circle, very dreamy, and it's kind of a mirror. So right now it seems like if you should like what you see, honestly, and that's just not when you look in the mirror, but also looking back at what you conquered, looking back at what you went through in 2023, Pisces. This Ace of Cups is well deserved. So when you're in these moments of abundance and new beginnings, remember that you do deserve them. Six of Wands. So Six of Wands. Looks like there's a little bit of hard-won gains, some victory. Whatever obstacles were standing in your way, you have jumped the hurdle. Growth is within you. And you see this, when I think of the Six of Wands, there are just things to look forward to. And you see, you're holding a wreath and you are walking very tall. You see that this is a horse, but it's a horse on stilts. That's just how much growth you have had to experience from the beginning of last year to where we are now. And there are going to be other battles to be fought, but with this Six of Wands energy, it's victory. Whatever obstacle standing in your way, you will be able to jump over. Growth is within you, and really it's congratulations, Pisces. And it's not congratulations on an attainment of a moment, but of the person that you have become. Next, we are going to read for Cancer. So let's see what's going on with Cardinal Water, the surfer, riding the tidal waves with whatever comes with them. The Lovers. So looks like someone's wooing you. This is a bounce chicka wow wow. This is somebody making you feel butterflies on the inside. This could also be how you feel about yourself. This could be how someone also views you. So Cancer, I know you really like the thrill of life, Cancer. And with this card, I feel as if this isn't a card of romance, but there is just someone who has googly eyes for you right now, Cancer. There is just someone that you are emotionally fulfilling, be it yourself or be it the other person. But the thing about the lovers is it's usually you're playing Prince Charming or you have wooed a Prince Charming. And with it said, it seems like someone is fixated on you, and that's the dangerous part of the lovers card. Is when someone is fixated on you, they are actually they actually have feelings for the ideal of you and not the actual person. So there might be someone who is completely ignoring your flaws and paying attention to the good parts of you, but that's not that's infatuation. So it seems like you have a card of infatuation right now. There might be someone who tell you they'll go to the ends of the earth for you, but there's just an image of you that they have, and whether you're trying to meet these standards or not, there's someone who has some serious feelings for you. Like, it's hard to do wrong in their eyes. You're giving somebody a feeling and they cannot get enough. Seven of Swords. So with this Seven of Swords, there's a little bit of self-deception, and it warns against manipulation and dishonesty. So this is an unrealistic view of a relationship focused on an ideal. A challenge to scrutinize, evaluate how you're being treated and if you're settling. So there might be someone who's constantly giving into you, and it's like, all right, well, thanks. Make sure that it's not a one-sided giving, because that's where things tend to put you on a track for a tower moment. If you are dealing with someone else and they seem to be putting their best foot forward, they're there for them, they're there for you, they give you what they can, they do a lot to make you feel well, they do a lot to show you that you're a priority in their life. Cancer, let's make sure that we are also feeding back into that relation, so it's not one-sided. Because with this Seven of Swords, it's self-deception. It seems like there's a lot of unspoken word that this person wants to say to you, but you have to make sure that you're meeting halfway. Whatever you are getting out of a relationship, let's make sure we're making an effort to put in, because this card can go like this very quickly. Whoever tried to make you feel as good as you can, if they don't receive any reciprocity, then this lover card can go in reverse, and all that elation is how you can go from, what's the saying I seen on social media recently? It was, someone can go from bay to blocked real quick. If you don't feed into that connection, that is exactly what's going to happen. And though that lover card is going to fall pretty quickly, my Cancers. Page of Cups. So compassion, creativity, or it's spiritual intimacy. It's evaluated, making choices. You do not want to assume the outcomes. So with this Page of Cups, it seems like you have a couple of toes in the emotion, and I'm getting the sense that there are feelings that you've had before, there's a relationship before, affecting how you're treating this person in this connection, Cancer. And with this Seven of Swords, you've been playing things very close to the vest with this person. So really limiting communication. But this Page of Cups meaning that you're actually into this person, but because you've been scorned in the past, that you aren't really allowing yourself to feel these emotions thoroughly or feel where you are currently. And you see those tentacles in the back. This Page of Cups energy wants to make sure that if though you're no longer in your past situation, it suggests that you should focus on showing compassion and creativity. So considering how you're making someone else feel, and less on how you feel, because it seems like the other person that you're dealing with has that covered pretty much. So again, Cancer, the Lover's card You're giving someone elated feelings. Seven of Swords is something you want to communicate. And like I said, you typically ride the wave. No, remember that you cannot control the wave. And this Page of Cups, it is safe to confide in this person. It seems like someone wants emotional closeness with you, and it is possible. And lastly, let's move on to Scorpio. So this is for my Scorpio placement. Let's find out what's going on with the Scorpios. Again, if you find this reading helpful, check the description box. Death card. So Scorpio, you know you all are the death card. So this represents transformation. And as you can see, there are skulls on his feet. So I know that you might have gone through a significant period of loss. You might be going. The death card is complicated because it's water, and the fact that it means that you are in alignment. I know a lot of people are kind of scared to explore the line between life and death. But as a Scorpio, that's basically where you belong. Like, it's transformation, it's constant transformation, it's constant change. And Spirit is saying that you have more transformation coming. So coming out of 2023, you might have had some battles, but there's still some transformation that needs to happen. And with this death card, it is make sure that you aren't emotionally attaching yourself to dead situations as well. So first for the Scorpio, the death card. So there's some transformation ahead of you. And then you have the Queen of Cups, which is a buyer or seller of a fantasy. So my question to you, Scorpios, are you the buyer or seller of the fantasy? This is a challenge to act with compassion and empathy. Make sure that you are not getting over on a person. Make sure that you are acting with compassion and empathy. Make sure that you are balancing what you need to balance, because the Queen of Cups, this is, how do I put this? It's buyer or seller of the fantasy. The Queen of Cups can make you feel however she wants. That's the thing about water. So with this Queen of Cups, you can either appear dreamy, you can be the one in the dream, or you can be the one building the dream. But this Queen of Cups, make sure that you are acting with compassion and empathy. It is a challenge to make sure that if someone is making you feel well, that you are also putting a foot or a little bit of effort in meeting them somewhere in the middle. And then there's the King of Swords. So bold, brave, and without judgment. Things are going steadily. You're stepping towards a goal. This is a warning not to make decisions out of anxiety. No more action is needed. The Queen of Cups has the energy flowing. It's right where it should be. And at this point, it's better to assume whatever you're working toward is working towards you and will work out in your favor. So it looks like there's some feminine and masculine energy. So if you are a Scorpio female, it looks like your ego is in a good place, but so is the divine feminine and divine masculine within yourself. So it looks like you've been putting someone on top, and that is a good way to reach emotional fulfillment. And the King of Swords, you see how there are swords around him. So these could be rumors, these could be other people's opinion, but there's a sword in the ground. So it's grounded. So it's a good card of balance. The King of Swords is very good with balance and knowing what you need to do better than you. And this is just a sign that things are going steadily. So even though you got the death card up first, which you're a Scorpio, you're one of the few signs that isn't scared of the death card. As these situations begin to change, recognize the Queen of Cups, which stands for you've been making someone feel emotionally satisfied, and the King of Swords meaning that this is a good energy. It's very rare for a water sign such as Scorpio to get the King of Swords because communication can be a tricky subject. But this is a sign that things are going steadily and you've taken a step towards a goal. But make sure that when you make decisions, you aren't making them out of anxiety. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining my reading. I will be finishing up with the fire and earth signs on Wednesday. Thank you very much.